Washington Commanders could be returning to their spiritual home at RFK Stadium under a deal negotiated by D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser. But new information uncovered by WUSA 9 raises serious questions about the true cost to D.C. taxpayers. Our chief investigative reporter, Eric Flack, continues our team coverage today, and he's been digging into the numbers. Flack, some D.C. council members say the bill taxpayers could ultimately face is much higher than advertised.
That's right, Simone, and the information we uncovered seems to support that. But just hours ago, the mayor's office issued a statement brushing aside councilmember concerns.
The time is now. Let's bring Washington back to D.C.
Behind the fanfare of D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser's agreement with the Washington Commanders,
this is a big deal.
WUSA 9 has uncovered serious questions about what a new Commander Stadium will mean for taxpayers. Do you think taxpayers have been told the real cost of this stadium?
Taxpayers have not been told the real cost of the stadium, and I don't think that's fair.
At-large D.C. Councilmember Robert White told me the mayor's projected $1.1 billion total taxpayer bill are hundreds of millions short of reality.
What these calculations have been is a pitch, not an honest accounting for residents so that they understand what we are getting into as a city.
So we asked the office of D.C.'s chief financial officer a very simple question. What is the total interest payments on those bonds? The CFO's answer surprised us. Unknown at this time. We also asked, what is the yearly interest payment D.C. would have to make on those bonds? The answer, once again, unknown at this time. Concerns over the interest D.C. taxpayers would pay on stadium bonds were at the center of questions raised by Councilmember Charles Allen during last month's budget oversight hearing. Late Thursday, the mayor's office sent us a statement denying taxpayers will be hit with hidden interest payments, telling us interest on the district's stadium bonds would not increase the price of the project to taxpayers and be paid for entirely from the sports facilities fee, otherwise known as the ballpark fee, that funded construction on Nats Park. But White believes there's also tens of millions of dollars in hidden housing costs not included in the mayor's estimates, and is among a growing number of D.C. council members who see major red flags in the mayor's stadium financing math.
So when the mayor is saying this is the cost to the city, it's not accurate, and residents should know how much this project is going to cost.
White supported legislation passed by D.C. Council Wednesday to strip the RFK Stadium plan out of the D.C. budget to be considered separately, which will slow potential approval of the agreement, which frustrates the Commanders. They said in a statement, any substantial delays will jeopardize D.C.'s ability to attract premier concerts, global talent, and marquee events, including, Simone, the 2031 FIFA Women's World Cup.
I'm curious, do we know when D.C. Council will now ultimately vote on that stadium plan? And maybe more importantly, is council approval in jeopardy?
Well, that's the big thing, and the short answer is no. But one council member told me the stadium debate is likely to extend into August, possibly even September, which is the time frame that really concerns the Commanders. As for approval, Councilmember White compared the whole deal to buying a pair of Louis Vuitton shoes. He said they're not practical, you could get shoes for a lot less, but if you're honest about how much you're spending, you might still buy them. He said council members may still want the stadium, but the city just has to be honest about how much it's going to cost.
As they say, the devil's in the details, right? Especially when it comes to money. I know you'll continue to follow that for us, Flack. We'll see you soon.
All right, Simone.
Happening today, D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser is fighting to save the RFK Stadium deal, saying the time to bring the Commanders back to the district is now. This comes after the city's council voted late yesterday to separate the stadium deal from the D.C. budget vote, which may delay the agreement between the city and the team. Our John Duran heard from the mayor and the Commanders. John, they want this done in the next few weeks.
And yes, Simone, the mayor knows the Commanders aren't going to be on the hook forever if there's significant delays in the agreement between the team and the city. She says the time to act is now to have the stadium ready by 2030. There's a sense of urgency to reach the finish line.
Sometimes a window of opportunity opens, and we don't know how soon it's going to close. So the way I live my life, I get through the window, right? We don't want the window of opportunity to close on RFK.
The stadium deal's fate lies with the D.C. Council. Wednesday night, they voted to separate the RFK redevelopment plan from DC's budget, potentially delaying the project.
I do think a standalone hearing is better. They could do it earlier, or they could do it on the 28th and 29th and still have time to vote this summer.
This is going to be the premier event venue on the East Coast.
Andy Van Horn with the Washington Commanders echoed Bowser's call for the council to have this stadium ready in 5 years.
We really do need momentum and keep our process moving, because we actually have to start moving utilities early to mid next year in order to get the stadium going.
Van Horn says the best way to stay on time and on budget is starting early.
So we think about everything as getting it done today, the window of opportunity the mayor discussed. We have a window of opportunity to move forward immediately, and we need to do that now, and so that's how we think about it. Like, if we wait another 6 months, right, that adds risk.
The time is now. The opportunity is great. The risk is even greater. Let's bring them home.
The D.C. Council Chair Phil Mendelson told WUSA 9 last night they hope negotiations move quickly. They want to see a stadium here in 2030 as well. Mendelson says they still need to work out the details with the team. Public hearings are scheduled regarding this deal for late July. Simone?
Really get a sense of the pressure and what's at stake when you hear the mayor talking about that window of opportunity. John Duran reporting for us tonight. Thank you. All right, listen up, Washington football fans. You are invited to come out and to get loud with the Washington Commanders. Tomorrow night, the Commanders are hosting a live recording of their Get Loud podcast. And as the official television partner of the Commanders, we'll be there as well. Join hosts Fred Smoot and Michael Jenkins at Duffy's Irish Pub on Capitol Hill. The show starts at 8 p.m. There will also be exclusive giveaways and appearances by Major Teddy and the Command Force.